Restaurateur and chef Michel Roux has received countless culinary honors in the international food world. He has run successful five-star Michelin restaurants, written books about everything from eggs to desserts. He is an authority on desserts, which are his lifelong passion. It is my pleasure to welcome Michel Roux back to Studio 4 to tell us more. Hello, chef. Hello,
morning,
sir. Morning. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Almost retired, not retired?
Half retired.
Who's running what today?
It's my son, who's been working for almost 20 years alongside me, and I left him in charge about 8 years ago.
At Bray, at the Waterside Inn at Bray,
yes,
in England.
Which is holding 3-star Michelin for 27 years.
27 years. What's the key to keeping 3 Michelin stars, 27 years?
Well, you've got to be creative, but before anything, it's like having a beautiful plant. You've got to watering every day. So it's a standard, keeping the standard even, and teamwork, wonderful teamwork. Because without your people, you're nothing.
Who taught you to cook?
My mom.
My mom.
Mom, yes.
And who taught your sons?
I think most probably a lot of people in France, because he worked in many places before he joined me, and he joined me when he was 24 and worked alongside 10 years with me. So I think I was instrumental to now be in charge of the Waterside.
And your brother?
Well, my brother Albert half-retired, and it's Michel, his son, who is looking after the Gavroche now.
Okay, I have to get this all straight. Michel, Albert, Alain,
it's a bit confusing.
It's a big family.
Yes, it is.
I hear you're doing a television show soon.
Yes, early next year. In fact, it's be a 10 series, and it's done by Cactus, and it will be called The Roux Legacy. And it's the first time the Roux brothers are cooking together, and we haven't been cooking together for 25 years. So it'd be quite something. Then the 2 cousins cook together, Alain and Michel. Emily, the little daughter of Michel, is in the program, and we've got the Roux Scholarship, a young boy, because we've been running something which is quite exceptional for 28 years, which is called the Roux Scholarship, our scholars.
How great. How lovely. So, will you cook everything? Focus on desserts or confit or foie gras?
It's a bit of everything. Hors d'oeuvre, so a bit of savoury, a bit of fish and meat, but a lot of dessert, because I've got sweet tooth, and it's my first love. It's my first love.
Why desserts? You say, firstly, that dessert should never be the poor cousin.
You're quite right. It's been forgotten too often, and it's sometimes too heavy, it's too rich, and it really gets on my nerve when I see a dessert like that. In fact, I can't eat it. And I think it's an injury to give that to your guests or your friends at the end of the meal. And a chef in a restaurant should never do that. They should know better now. So that was the idea behind of having that book, dessert book now, to be brought up with obviously new conscious of health. So less sugar, less cream, a lot of fruit, seasonal fruit, because we seem to forget about the season as well.
Okay, so cook by the season, and fruit runs through this a lot.
Yes, a lot.
And ingredients like eggs, you don't just use any old egg. You use an organic egg, right?
If possible.
If possible.
Or free range at least.
And what about the butter?
The butter, the best butter. You know,
unsalted?
Each country, unsalted, yes.
And flour?
And flour, good flour. But I think in Canada you've got one of the best flours in the world. So
we do?
Yes, definitely.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Well, who knew?
It's been known for, well, since I've been 14.
Really?
Yes, we do use Canadian flour in Europe. Yes.
I didn't know.
Oh, yes.
So what's good about Canadian flour?
Well, strong in gluten and good content and the best quality flour.
Humidity, the enemy of flour.
Ah, yes. Like sugar. I mean, yesterday I was doing a croquembouche in Barbara Joe's shop, and it was very difficult to assemble with the caramel because simply the sugar doesn't like the humidity and the flour doesn't like it.
Sure, and a croquembouche is really a tree full of cream puffs.
It goes really
it's so
very
beautiful.
high with lovely little choux, and molding it is really the minute of silence.
I'm sure.
Because it's got to hold together.
And to eat it properly, can you just grab a little cream puff off, or
no, you were to take a big knife and big like sabre le champagne.
That's it?
For the first one. And then it's easier to reach with your hand.
Okay. Now the keys to making, say, a chocolate mousse.
Yes.
A good chocolate, obviously. French chocolate, or
Well, you've got
dare
Belgian
you use
chocolate,
Belgian chocolate?
Belgium, Swiss chocolate are good, but the French chocolate are not bad. And I myself use the French one.
And about melting chocolate.
The temperature is very important. Melting it in bain-marie, never more than 30, 32 degrees centigrade.
Okay, and I know there's a chocolate mousse in desserts with a little lavender.
Yes, and I'm
And a little
using white
berry.
chocolate. Yes, lavender goes very well, and berries. But chocolate, you've got to be careful, because sometimes people use too many spices, too many ingredients. You have to remember chocolate is so good. Let it speak to you.
Okay, so keep it pure.
Yes,
if you
absolutely.
can, if it's good chocolate. And I doubt you cook with poor chocolate. Because it's about ingredients, isn't it? Some of it.
Well, everything is about ingredient. How can you start with a poor ingredient and end up with a good dish? In cooking and in pastry, the same. Dessert, the same.
Right. What
everything
about
you do in life.
with wine? When you cook with wine, not in desserts, but
We-
you know, when you're using wine in a dish, in a
Yes.
stew, you use good wine?
I use good one, only good one. It's not the quantity, it's the quality the most important.
Right.
It's like dessert. If you want to finish a meal, you've got to end up with a small dessert and light, favoring and exploding in your mouth. So small, light, delicate, the best ingredient must be used. And if I use wine or alcohol, it's got to be the best spirit, the best rum, the best kirsch, and so on and so forth.
Okay. What about a banana souffle?
I love it, banana souffle.
With a little chocolate
Yeah,
sauce.
You can use the chocolate sauce, and you can do it in a pancake.
But your souffle is quite puffy. I'm looking at it on the screen, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
What's the key to that?
Well, it's
The
simply egg white, well whipped, not too much sugar, not very much flour, very, very little indeed, and the cooking time is perfection. You've got to be really bang on. 6-7 minutes for a souffle, average souffle, medium size, and attention to detail. And the thermostat, your oven, it's got to be at the right temperature, 180 degrees centigrade.
Always.
Yes, always.
And somebody shouldn't open the door when it's cooking.
You've got to be careful on that.
Got to be careful. What about a meringue?
The meringue, you leave it for hours. In fact, you can leave it for the night. And it's got to be low temperature, 90 degrees centigrade, 100
Okay.
degrees centigrade. And
That's beautiful. You've layered it.
I love it with...
But yours aren't falling apart.
No.
No.
Why should it?
I don't know, mine do.
No.
But I'm doing something wrong, obviously.
Well, I'm not
Mine
sure.
are kind of flat.
Yes, well, mine is flat if it's supposed to be flat.
I know, but mine's
That
flat
is
when
bad.
mine does the pizza. So I don't know what happens there.
Well, you've got to have the right quantity of sugar with egg white and whip it long enough. And you've got sometimes to just think, well, I'm right. I'm going to do it right.
Okay, and you
Positive.
whip with special tools for this, for
Absolutely,
desserts.
yeah.
A whisk.
A good whisk.
And what's the difference between a good whisk and a not so good whisk?
Well, a good whisk is either you use an electric beater, you
Right.
know, and then you've got to have one of the best brand, or you use your arm and you use
Right.
your, you know,
There's a-
and it's the way you move it. And then when you whisk an egg white, you've got always to remember a bit of salt at around 2/3 of the way in the egg white, or a bit of sugar 2/3 of the way when they are just fluffy, and then you go a
Okay,
bit
and
faster.
should it be at room temperature?
Better.
Doesn't matter.
In any case, egg should always be taken out of the fridge a little while before you start to do your dessert.
Okay, and if I wanted a tiramisu with a French twist, any suggestions?
Well, I'm using chestnut in my tiramisu.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you roast them
glaze.
yourself?
No,
Of course
no,
you do.
No?
No?
I
Okay.
could.
Okay.
But it will take a bit long. And you know, I don't want to discourage the reader, my friend,
No,
the
I
pâtissier
understand.
chef in the world. So you can buy chestnut in syrup, and you can use chestnut into tiramisu.
Okay.
It's a nice twist, you know, it make a
Okay.
good change.
Yeah, be lovely. It'd be just lovely. So at Christmas time in England, at the Waterside Inn or at
Yes.
Le Gavroche, what's special? What do you do? How do you celebrate?
Well, we're going to do the French log, the coffee log, and the chocolate log. We're going to do as well il flottante, the little egg white whipped, poached in milk, and serve on a crème anglaise, a custard cream, light custard cream. And then we serve the Christmas pudding next to it as well. Because I love my Christmas pudding as well.
You do?
Of course I do. Yes.
You see, I don't.
Oh.
I don't know why.
That's my
Maybe
recipe.
you have a
You
secret.
should try my recipe.
I think I better try yours because I don't like mine so much either.
I send you one of mine.
Okay, sure. Well, actually, you probably can send it.
Absolutely, it travels very well. That's the beauty.
I'm looking forward to this. Yes, we'll try it. Why not? But so the show, with the TV show, The Roux Legacy, coming, will it come to Canada, or is it just at the BBC?
Oh, it will come to Canada eventually, because I believe at the moment there are different countries looking at it, because, well, after all, the Roux family have been holding the 3-star for so long, and we have trained over 800 chefs all over the world.
How lovely.
In fact, tonight I'm at Thierry for signing books.
Oh, Thierry.
Because he's one of my
ex-boys.
ex-boys. Well, Thierry worked for the Roux brothers for over 2 years.
I forgot that.
Yes, absolutely.
So you'll be there on Alberni Street at 7 p.m. signing books.
Yes, and there is still few tickets available at the Barajo shop. I know that because this morning I gave you a call and they told me there was 2 or 3 tickets left. 2
or 3 tickets.
Yes, absolutely.
So go now.
Go now.
Or you will miss out.
Yes.
And that's at Barajo's
because
Books.
I like to see
Books
you.
to Cooks. Of course. Why not? Oh, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Thank you, Fanny.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Michel Roux and his newest book called simply Desserts.